Hey guys,
I'm Hallee,
and I'm Jamie.
and this is Literal Nonsense.
Hey guys.
Hey.
I feel like we always start off laughing and no one realizes it's because you like do this crazy clap when we start recording.
Gotta set it.
Set the tone. So
In 3, 2, 1.
Right, pretty much just our version of that.
Exactly.
So today we're covering part 2 of Reckless by Lauren Roberts. It is book 2 in the Powerless series. Sans the little novella. Yeah, so we left off with Kai put like shackles on Paedyn because he's like not trusting her not to run away / kill him. He needs to bring her back to Kit.
Yeah, he's decided that he will do it. He will go through.
And like the whole book thus far is like, again, a cat and mouse game, way less creepy than haunting and hunting Adeline, but a cat and mouse game.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So battle of wits, if you will.
Yeah, but like it's very obvious they like each other.
Yeah.
They're like, I feel like trying too hard to hate each other. And
I
it's
feel
annoying.
like we're getting more of. I feel more like, okay, now like Paedyn's like saying more. I feel about how she feels about him.
Yes, because even her internal dialogue is like in denial.
Yeah.
Whereas his, like you mentioned, whatever episode, is like, we know he loves her.
Yeah.
Like, because he's so fucking dramatic.
You know what? He is dramatic.
Yeah.
He's very dramatic.
This book, I'm not liking him. To be honest. Which, whatever.
It's like, eh.
Yeah. So, basically, long story longer. As far as the plot...
Long story longer?
Yeah.
The fuck does that mean?
You never heard that? It's like, long story short, but like... Obviously I'm not making it short because we're fucking recording an episode. You know?
Okay. Sure.
I feel like the plot of the second half of the book, it's like, again, like the same bullshit. Like, we gotta make our way back to Ilya, like, okay. I feel like the setting isn't like anything overly crazy and the plot isn't crazy. It's more of their feelings.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like what's going on.
Not intense.
Yeah, like what's going on in the story is not like...
Yeah, there's no like life or death, really.
Yeah, there's no like trials and tribulations.
Yeah, like we know what the end game is supposed to be.
Right.
She goes back with him and Kit probably kills her.
Right. Like, yeah. I think that's this second half of the book, like getting toward the end, that was really more so what I was intrigued about. Was like, well, what's Kit gonna do? Because like he's like unhinged, and I didn't know where we were going with this.
Yeah. So I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about Kit, even more so for the next book.
Agreed. Kit is like Kit scares me a little. He's like a little loose cannon.
It's giving psychopath.
It is giving psychopath.
Like,
yes.
He'll shake your hand at work and then butcher someone at night.
Right. Yeah, I could see that for Kit, which I like for him. I do.
I like his villain arc, but like he's just like he's throwing his food out the window. He just like doesn't leave his room. He like
now he's talking to Calum, which at this point we don't know why that's occurring.
Oh yeah,
like the resistance leader.
And it's always like Calum advised me to do this. I don't know how I feel about this, but I shall see what happens with this. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like, what is this?
What do you mean? And then he keeps mentioning this felt box, and you're like...
Which you, like, theorized
what comes in felt boxes.
Right.
So...
Which, to be fair, like, could it be anything other than a ring?
I mean, like, yeah.
But, like, what?
A bullet. Oh wait,
geez.
They don't have guns.
Do they? I mean, no, they don't. I guess not.
They don't have guns.
Like a cyanide pill?
Yeah.
You know? That'd be so fucking extra, though, if it was in a fucking, like, velvet box.
Imagine.
I'd be so annoyed.
The Azers have a hint of the flare in them.
Yeah, I would actually, I'd be like, alright. But that'd be, like, more Kai, that dramatic motherfucker. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because, you know, we would get that from Kai, and then he would go into an extra very long escapade about his
Like
internal struggle of right and wrong, but I'm the enforcer, and
like Kai is 100,000% as dramatic and annoying as like Romeo, so I could see it.
You know what's crazy is I feel like, you know, we've quickly taken a turn on Mr. Kai Azar.
I feel differently now again, book 3.
Yeah.
But this book, I'm like, dude, like, fucking relax.
Darling.
Yeah, like, Jesus
Darling.
Christ.
Darling.
Also, I'm realizing as I'm sitting here, I did not tell you at all what this episode is covering, so, like, page-wise.
Oh, well.
Not that it's, like, really a fucking big deal. But, you know, I like to,
It's hot now.
See, I told you it was hot in here. I like to let you guys know regardless. So, this episode, again, it's part 2 of Reckless. It's chapters 28 through 49, and it's pages 203 through 377. So, it's not like this book is the smallest, thank God. I can say now that we've started book 3, this is my least favorite.
Yeah.
I liked the vibes of, like, going to, like, this, like, desert town vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like now that we're at part 2 of, like, they're bringing her back to Ilya, it's like, how long does this have to be?
It's very drawn out.
I wish there was more than just that as a plot point for book 2.
Yeah, because you don't really get much of an immersion.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's more like, watch these two try to fight their feelings for each other because of their external circumstances.
Yeah, like, and I wish there was just more things going on while they did that.
Yeah, like, there's no, like, looming war or...
Yeah, like, this is all that's happening.
Yeah.
It's like, I want you to bring her back. I'm not sure if you'll bring her back because you clearly love her.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, they start going back to Ilya as usual. Now, this half of the book, they pick, like, a different way to do that, and they go via the Sanctuary of Souls, like, path, where there's, like, bandits, things like that. Okay, fine. Like, she's broadening the world. I don't mind
That's
that
fine.
part. Now, this is where, like, they, I think, really start making, like, a shift in, like, their feelings.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. And I think also we get a little bit more, like, history of the world.
Yeah.
Because we learned that, like, the Sanctuary Souls, like, it was supposed to be, like, a burial ground for the royalty, and...
Right,
but
like,
then,
there's, like, a queen there.
Yeah, but then, like, bandits overran it because, like, they're obviously being buried with
Royalty jewels.
stuff.
Yeah, like, jewels and...
Money.
Money, crowns, jewels,
So
things
they're
like
essentially grave diggers.
that. I like that vibe.
You know? So kind of, like, nobody goes there.
Right. And then, so when they're walking...
Which I think is interesting that they go that way, but then we come to find out that Kai was brought there many times by their father and, like, left.
Right.
Usually disabled somehow and has to find his way out.
I mean, this dad is a douchebag,
Imagine
bro.
doing that at, like, fucking 13.
No. Like, what if you die? Like, I get, like, that's the point. Like, you have to be, like, strong, whatever, but, like... What if you do die?
Okay, so this is my bit of my hang-up that I'm having a little bit, is that, like, instead of her just telling us what, like, Kai has endured from his father, I wish, like, maybe it was, like, in the form of, like, a flashback, or, like, in a dream.
I would like a flashback.
So, like, you could feel like you're in it, you know? You could feel the emotions versus
Yeah.
just being told, I'm scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and, like, again, we have his point of view, so it wouldn't be hard to do a flashback.
No, because we're in his head.
Yeah, like, oh, as we're walking, I remember the time. Flashback.
Mm-hmm.
Fine.
Which, like, okay, if this is a young adult read, like, obviously the literature,
Right.
the writing is not going to be, like, obviously, no.
But again, that's our fucking constant conversation. Why not? Like, Hunger Games, Twilight, the writing is good. It's just, young adult just means no sex and, like, you know, X-rated content. But
YA is not an excuse to be a poor writer.
No, but, like, I really, yes. Like, I will get a fucking sticker across my forehead. Like, it just, that's...
The Krusty Krab is unfair. Mr. Krabs is in there.
Right, like, we are gonna picket. We're picketing.
We should turn this into, like, a hate account.
I feel like we already...
Like, just read all books and just, like, shit on all of them.
I feel as though that is what we do.
I feel like the antithesis of what everyone else is doing.
I feel like we low-key do that, because then we just sit here and say, here's how I would have wrote it.
No, you say that.
Yeah. I think the only books that we didn't deal with was, like, Lori Gilmore's and It Happened One Summer. Was that what it was called?
The sailor one?
Oh, Just for the Summer with Abby Jimenez.
Yeah, that was good.
So, like, but other than that, we're like, boo!
Yeah, even Sarah J. Maas were like,
yeah, we've making a horrible turn. So anyways,
yeah.
So...
The trolls are here.
But let's talk about, I guess, the parts of this book that were fine, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
So when they're in the Sanctuary of Souls, they come across, like, this meadow. They go swimming. It's, like, beautiful, and they're like, wow, I could see why this was supposed to be a burial ground.
It's always the meadow.
Always the meadow. They finally have a kiss that's, like, romantic, and, like, they're not about to die, they're not hating each other, like, they're just... Now they're saying, let's pretend. That's their big thing. Which, you know... corny, but I don't hate it because it's like, yeah, like, you guys know, like, you have, it's not like a thing that's gonna last.
Yeah.
I liked this kiss.
We have to circle back to this pretend thing.
Okay.
At the end, okay?
Okay. Got it. Clocked.
Okay.
So after they have this kiss,
which was good, it was a good scene.
Good scene.
Yeah.
They run across bandits, they find a cave, like, there's, like, killing, which I feel like, again... It's, like, fine, I'm glad there's some action, but it's not, like, the most groundbreaking plot point.
Nothing to write home about.
The two, I guess, things that were meaningful and relevant at this part is, number one, they're trying to light a fire, and it's, like, they don't have anything, so they use...
I need kindling! Right now!
Yeah, like, literally, it's like, alright, relax, bro. They use Paedyn's father's journal, which she hasn't, like... read all of. She, like, read some parts of it, and it was, like, medical bullshit, and she was like, whatever. But then she gets to the end, and it's, like, his journal, like, a diary.
From, like, years before even she was born.
Yes.
Like, you're looking at, like, at least a decade before.
We find out all kinds of fun shit. Two big things.
Yeah, two big things. So first we find out that the whole Ordinaries, like, being a disease to the elites is a hoax. Which... we kind of knew that, obviously.
I feel like this has been since the get. We were like, really?
Yeah.
So...
okay, confirmed. Boom. Sir King, you suck. And he basically paid all the healers to, like, keep this secret and then spread lies to everybody.
And, like, I will say, appreciate, as an author, the plot point as far as, like, the king. Because him, like, calling it a disease, I feel like that was good on... Lauren Roberts' part of, like, yeah, obviously...
yeah, good on you.
Like, genetics-wise, if a powerful, elite, whatever, someone with powers, has, like, a baby with someone without, it will, like, weaken them in that sense. Like, you'll have people maybe with, like, half powers, less powers, whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, he's right in the sense of... he almost didn't lie. Like, I think if he had to back it, he could have been like, oh, like, it would have weakened you. Like, the next generation, blah, 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 blah.
Because
so,
you
like,
have all those... what were they called?
I forget, but, like, the half-power people.
Yeah.
So it's, like, I almost feel like, again, he's dead now, so who cares? And, like, they're obviously pissed because, like, he did lie in some form.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like if he got caught, he could have been, like, yeah, they are a disease to our society. Like,
because not only did he, like, do that, but then he, like, outcast them and then he killed them.
Yeah, that part was...
you know, like, instead of just being, like...
don't...
these...
like, you should almost, like... my ankle's going crazy. You should almost, like, not ostracize them, because that's wrong, too, but, like, better than killing them.
I guess.
Like, again, why not...
But see, this is the problem when one race thinks they're superior to another.
Right, and that's what, and I do like that general vibe of, like, it's almost bringing, like, you know, with obviously the powers, but it's like that race superiority, essentially. So, you know, I mean, again,
it's just a little political.
Yeah, like enough. It's like the young adult intro to politics.
Yeah.
So I like that subtle, like, message.
It's world history.
Yeah. So, like, you know what? Honestly, as an author for that, I was like, that was a well done way to introduce that into a young adult novel.
Yeah.
I think that was, like, a good plot point.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so we do learn that all of that was, like, bullshit.
And then we also find out that Paedyn's dad is not her dad. So Paedyn actually has no parents.
Which is, you know what's interesting to me? Like, when they were reading the journal...
Yeah.
And, you know, she was saying how her mom had whatever power her mom had. I forget. Her dad told her, whatever. Mm-hmm. And her dad was a healer. And
wasn't it like fire or something?
Maybe. And it wasn't really...
Or was she a crawler?
I don't know. I know Kai's sister Ava was a crawler.
Yes.
I don't know what the mom was. I forget.
Whatever.
But it was, like, mentioned right before Paedyn read the journal and found out that this was not her parents. That Kai was like...
No, her mom was an ordinary.
No, because they said that after they met those, like, half people...
Uh-huh.
Kai even said to her, like, hey, it's weird that your parents both had powers and, like, you're an ordinary. That doesn't happen. Because, like, he makes a point and says that. And then she's kind of like, yeah, that is weird. So I don't... Like, I just think it's weird.
Wait, but I'm confused because I thought he falls in love with an ordinary woman.
I don't know, I think she had a power.
And then they have the ordinary...
I don't know. I think...
Chat!
I think Kai... Because I remember him saying it. And I remember being like, oh, this is definitely a plot point being introduced. Because it was, like, not mentioned before this. And then Kai kind of just, like...
But, like, technically, her dad has a power.
Well, right, that's what I'm saying. So that's what Kai was, like, shocked that she was ordinary if her parents both had powers. So I forget what her mom had. But, like...
But her mom didn't have anything, actually.
Yes. I guess. That's why he was saying, like, I feel like something's up here. And then you read the journal, and you're like, oh, something was up here. So I don't know. But then I'm, like, also confused going into book 3 with that plot point. Like, I don't know. So, just worth mentioning, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
You're gonna have to make, like, a flow chart.
Yeah, it was after they met the little half people that he was like, hey, like, you should have something.
Yeah.
Also, theorizing, if she has no powers, I've been thinking this since the get, what's up with her hair? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why is her hair silver?
So, I don't know. Something's up with this bitch. Something's up with this bitch.
Do you think, like, something needs to, like, click into place and then she, like, unleashes, like, this crazy power that, like, nobody else has? Like, she can, like, rewrite time or something?
Yeah. We're going to talk more about that next episode. Not the rewriting time, but...
Imagine, I just solved the whole thing.
Right. But we'll talk about keep this in mind for next episode, because I'm going to revisit this point.
Okay.
So kind of like how you want to revisit the pretend thing in, like, 5 seconds. We're going to revisit this.
Okay.
So put that in your brain.
Clocked.
Got it. So that was a big... She's upset as fuck.
Yeah, she's devastated. She was like, my dad's not my dad, but he raised me. And I don't have a dad. And my mom died, apparently, but she's not my mom. But then we find out that, like...
Well, the mom was pregnant and just, like, died with the kid, and they're both dead. And I was like, damn. So he got this one.
Oh, yeah, because his kid is not... Yeah, I forgot they actually had a kid.
Right.
Who died in childbirth with the mom.
Yeah, and then it was like they buried them, and then this one got left on his doorstep, and he was like, fucking great.
Yeah.
Here we are. I was like, what?
Interesting that it would land on his doorstep, but I guess he's like the only local healer that people maybe feel safe with.
It is interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
What a way to find out.
Yeah, which, I get that. That's devastating. But also, like, Kai kind of talks to her, and he's like, he clearly loved the shit out of you. Like...
Yeah, he was like, get over it.
Like, I feel like Kai...
In a nice way.
But low-key, I kind of get and sympathize with Kai, because he's like, this guy wasn't even your dad, and, like, loved you so much. Mm-hmm. And my dad fucking sucks. Like... I had a biological dad, and he's actually a douchebag.
Yeah. I thought it was also cool how in the journal he went through, like, him training her, and, like, he was like, she needs to be powerful, like...
Yeah.
Like, her own version of, like... And which I think is funny, because that's the pun. Like, the running joke the whole book is that she's powerless.
Yes.
And then, like, Kai says he feels powerless, and then she was like, I feel powerless, and it's like...
Yes.
It's like a tennis game.
Yeah. So those were two big, and I liked I think that flowed well with the plot as well. Like, finding those two things out via his journal. They needed kindling. Like, it was, like, well done.
And now... Okay, yeah.
So I liked it. Thought that was fine.
Yeah.
And now what?
So I was just going to say, like, leading into, like, the next part now. After that, and they land, because they've been walking this whole time. Anyways, they find themselves in this, like, poppy fields, like, right outside Ilya.
Yes.
Like, the castle, essentially. So they're, like, in home stretch. And they're just...
Which I think for them is, like, oh, shit.
Yeah, so now it's, like...
Now what?
It's raining down on them that reality is now real. And so they have, like, their cute moment in the poppy field, and they, you know, make their undying vows to each other, to love each other. But... So I'm going to say two things here. Okay. Number one. I can see... So now I'm not as angry about the whole, like... You know, I'm madly in love with this person, literally for no reason, since book one.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Because now they've gone through... You know, they've had some bonding experiences. They've both, you know, unleashed their trauma to each other.
Agreed.
You know, so now we kind of see, like, the full picture for each of them, and now I could see, you know, why they would have feelings for each other.
Okay, yes.
So now I'm not mad really about that point anymore. Now, to bring it back to the pretend, point two. So now they have to pretend when they go back into the city. Because, essentially, she is his... Prisoner. And they're not supposed to like each other. He's the enforcer. She killed his dad, the king. That's treason. That's the worst thing you could possibly do.
I get that whole point, but even from Kit's perspective, like, yes. And Kit knows this, because Kit, at one point in this second half, is talking to Gale, and she's like, well, he's not going to bring her back just because it's his job, but he's going to do it because he loves you.
Kit leaves the room.
Yeah.
Finally, after weeks.
Yes, right. So he's talking to Gale, which Gale, soft spot in my heart.
I feel like he, like, does, like, hit, you know how, like, in AA, they have to go around and make amends to, like, the people they've wronged? So, like, Kit is essentially doing that with Gale and his stepmom.
Yeah. So,
like, he goes to Gale, and he's, like, saying hi to all the people, and she's like, oh my god, is that kid? Like, don't pretend like I didn't know you were throwing my food out the window, and blah, blah, blah. Here's some sticky buns. Yay, okay, love each other. That's great. Gale's being, like, a good mother figure to him in that moment.
Yeah, Gale, I think, is, like, a great side character.
She's giving Alice from...
Yes. 100%.
Akatar.
But, like, this quote, which they have together, or, like, this little interaction, I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, like, I wonder if he'll come back. And he's like, I guess he kind of has to, because I told him to, and that's his job.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, he's not going to just bring her back because it's his job, but because he loves you, and he knows you're devastated that she killed your father. And he's like, what if he loves her more?
Yeah.
So, like, he knows. Like, they're not, again, how we've said for book one, the two of them just don't talk about it, but they both know they love her.
They're just dancing around the bush.
So it's like, yeah, like, he knows he loves her.
Yeah, it's just like this weird, like, unspoken...
Yes.
Like that one topic you don't talk about at family dinner, you know?
So, you know, I think he was nervous about him bringing her back. I think probably both of them are a little shocked that they got back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they literally pretty much in the poppy field are like, let's get out of here. Let's fucking, you go.
Yeah.
And then, like, the guards see them and, like, go to meet them.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, you're like, well,
this is it. So now
they do have, like, I liked that moment. Almost like, it's down to the wire. We have this interaction. Yeah. Which I liked that a lot. I didn't mind the poppy field either. I thought it was sweet.
Yeah. We learned a little bit more about his sister.
Ava,
and, like, the significance of, like, the willow tree, and...
He, like, kissed her thumb.
The thumb, yeah, like, the whole thumb war thing they were doing. Okay, cute. Love it.
Yeah, and I think this whole second part of the book, again, as much as I have hang-ups with, like, not having a lot of plot, there was a lot of, like, good emotional build-up, and it made sense. Romantic plot, like, where we were going.
And then you're like, well, shit, now shit's gonna hit the fan. But I thought it was interesting how the pretend... changes. So, like, originally when they would pretend, it was just Paedyn and Kai. No titles attached, like, everything in the outside world doesn't exist. Like, we're pretending it's just us in this perfect moment, right? And now it's like, okay, now pretend that you are, my prisoner, and we don't have any feelings, and I hate you. And,
right, because now they've acknowledged, like, that's real. Like, it was... it was the reality, quote unquote, was you are my prisoner. I am taking you back. Let's pretend in this moment like we love each other.
Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes obvious they do love each other for real. And now it's like we have to pretend that we hate each other. So it like flip-flops. Which I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like I said, like romantic plot-wise and like emotional growth and arc, I think that was great.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Kai is still planning at this point to like when they get back into the city, like to somehow save her before she gets executed.
Yeah, because I think now like we're in the open with like how we feel, you know, as far as the reader is concerned.
And they're like, we're gonna escape, go somewhere else.
Right. I also want to mention.
Does that all go falling down the toilet?
I also want to mention before we get to like the big
reveal
end of this book, where it happened, plot wise, don't necessarily care, but I also enjoyed this general emotional arc for her. I think it was after she killed the bandits. She had blood in her hair. She freaks out. She like has him cut her hair off.
Yeah.
Which I think that was like
hair holds weight, man.
Yeah, and like memories and trauma.
Yeah.
So I actually
cut that bitch.
Yeah, and I think the fact that he was the one to do it, and it was like the triggering part of that was because she had blood in her hair. Like I thought that was like just a nice.
And like she was always cutting Adina's hair.
Yeah.
Like the bangs, like it was all very symbolic.
Which I liked, and I didn't find that like corny. I thought that was like a nice. I was like, ooh, I like that you added that. Like it wasn't needed for the plot.
No.
It wasn't particularly like this groundbreaking chapter long thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to just acknowledge it because I did like that. Overall, in like the.
Yeah.
The part of the book.
Yeah, it was a good part.
Yeah, so I liked it.
Good job. Good job.
And I think
Miss Lauren Roberts.
Right. And I think like you said with the whole Adina thing, like. The fact that Paedyn cut her hair was also, like, a thing that was brought up in her novella. Like, so it wasn't, like, just random.
Yeah.
Like, it was, you know, well thought out and, like, there was...
purposefully placed.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, hats off to you on that. I liked it. Yeah. I just want to bring that up because I thought it was nice. Yeah. So now, the end of this book. So, before we tell you guys what happened, what did you think was going to happen?
I had the sinking suspicion that...
Oh, you did.
I did. From the get.
I
was like, what?
Yeah.
You didn't? Or did you just think it was like a possibility?
After you said it last episode, I was like, yeah. But I wanted...
You were hoping it wasn't?
So I knew that Kit was not going to kill her. I just knew.
Yeah.
First of all, there's a whole third book. But aside from that, I just knew.
Yeah.
I think after you had mentioned the whole what's in the box and you had your theories, I did like and kind of agree with you. I'm like, oh, this is probably how this is going to shake out. But I really, really then wanted book 3 to have a good reason for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that also was what was going to happen. I was hoping it
way?
wouldn't be stupid.
Do you feel that way?
Should I say that now or should I say that next episode?
Okay, say next episode.
Okay. So tell us...
Catch us next time!
Yeah, right. We're really just building up this third book. So tell us what happens.
Yeah, so they get there and Kit's like, hello, it's been a long time since we've seen each other. I thought you were dead.
You killed my dad.
Yep. And meanwhile, there's like people in the court.
Yes.
They're like, you know, they're not in private. And, you know, Kai and Paedyn are pretending not to care. Words are exchanged.
Ooh, this part I want to mention because this is like the first, I think, tension between the brothers. And this definitely carries on into next book. So, you know, they're in the courtroom and Kit asks Kai, was there any other unforeseen circumstances I should be aware of?
Yeah, and this was Kai's one opportunity to maybe tip the scales.
I don't think it would have worked though.
No?
So,
come on, he could have just gone down in like blaze of glory, bro. Like professed his love, fucking killed everyone in the room and escaped.
Fine.
If you loved her that much, that's what you would have done.
But so Kai, I think
Malachi.
This is interesting though.
Okay.
He says, I brought her back, did I not? And Kit, because, Kit is, like, smart. Like, he's not a fucking idiot.
No.
He said, that's not what I asked you. And I'm like, damn. Like, I'm reading this, and I'm like, oh, like, Kit knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, and this tension,
It's thick.
This also, like, is going to be a setup for next book.
Yeah.
Which I think is so fucking interesting. So, anyways, proceed with...
Anyways, yeah, so everyone's, like, waited with bated breath in the courtroom. And then Kit's like, you are to be my bride, Paedyn. And everyone's like,
No, literally.
Gasp! Shock!
And poor Kai.
And Kai, all the life drains out of him.
Dead.
And
dead soul.
He's just fucked because he was like, I could have lived with the fact of, like, I did all that I could to save her, and, like, I would do anything to see her alive even if we weren't together, but this one thing.
Yeah,
because if they get married, then that's...
He also is, pretty realistic. Yeah. And he says, like, this will be the rest of my life. Like, I have to be around them constantly, and I will love her forever.
But they're obviously going to have an affair, so...
But, like, that's also fucked up because I think he knows... We've had some insight to Kit's mind. We don't know how Kit feels about her. Like, we're not getting that insight.
Yeah.
But, like, he also probably knows, like, if Kit marries her, sure, there's a political play involved there, but, like, he probably will learn to love her and, like, get those feelings back, because he kind of already was in book 1.
Yeah.
So I think Kai also is like, fucking kill me, bro. Like,
Battle of brothers.
I also think, like you said, Kai could have lived with the fact of, like, helping her escape. I will love her for the rest of my life,
yeah.
she's gone.
Because he told her, wasn't it when they were in the poppy fields, he's like, you have to try to make it to Isram?
Yes.
And, like, I will try to make it to you, like, eventually, whenever.
Right.
But, like, I could live knowing that, like, you made it there and you're safe.
Right. So now, like, yeah, great, she's alive, but now I have to watch her fucking be married to my brother. That's brutal.
Meanwhile, Kid's, like, in his study, and he's been plotting this for weeks on end, and he's like,
So, okay.
Just kidding. He wasn't like that. But
maybe he was.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't trust Kid.
No, not for a fucking second.
At all.
Okay, so now that it was a marriage situation.
But they say why, right? In this book or no?
No, it just ends with, like...
Oh, you are to be my bride, right?
That's it. Boom. Done. So, going into next book, now that you were right, confirmed Hallee, good job.
Thank you.
He proposed, whatever. I needed next book, which again we'll talk about next episode, but my thoughts for this book's finale, the finish of it, whatever. I needed there to be a good reason for this. Like, I didn't want a stupid fucking reason. I wanted there to be, like, a legit, like, explain this to me.
Yeah.
How did we fucking get here? Because, again, kids' chapters were all like, oh, this is the plan, this happened, this. So fucking vague. So, like, I needed that vagueness to be explained in a good way and not, like, bullshit. So, whether or not I feel that was occurring next book, I'll say next episode. But that was, like, my thoughts, like, I was like, I don't hate it yet, I don't like it yet, I don't know yet.
I was thinking more along lines of, like, well, now this is just one big...
clusterfuck.
Yeah, like, literally dumpster fire. So I was more intrigued to see, like, how it was gonna play out. I wasn't really trying to attach any, like, judgments just yet. You know what I mean? Because I told you, I was like, I think I'm even more excited now to read book 3 than I was to read book 2.
Agreed. Yeah, because I feel like going into book 2...
Because how is this gonna work?
Right. Going into book 2, it was like, you almost knew that all of book 2 was gonna be, like, he was chasing her.
Yeah.
Which was fun, but, like, okay.
Yeah, and he'd have moments of, like, I can't do this, but I must.
Right.
But I can.
Like, how much of that, how many pages of that do we need? Which, that's how we did feel about this book.
Yeah.
Going into book 3, I was like, there's a lot at play here, like, how the fuck is this gonna work?
Yeah.
So I agree, I was more excited for book 2 into 3 than I was for 1 into 2. Now that being said, how did you feel about this book? Overall...
Yeah, I don't even know. What did I rate this book as? Was it 3 or 4?
Compared to the series, overall, like, what was your thoughts? Your qualms. Let me check my rating as well.
I think at this point the OG Powerless I like more than this one.
I agree.
I like that we were brought into... I gave this book 3 stars. Yeah.
So why did you give it 3 stars?
Oh.
I mean, you don't need to read your rating. Just tell me, like,
I just need a refresher of why.
You're like, not sure.
I can't think. I literally start my review with, I don't know how to feel about this book overall.
But, like, okay, fine, same. Like, I feel that.
Yeah, I think the whole thing with the corniness, I think.
Yes.
And I was upset that, like, Kai and Paedyn, like, make these undying vows to each other, and then it's like, yeah, actually, no. So I thought that was very sad for them.
That, though, I liked more than, like, the corniness. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least that felt real.
Yeah.
Like, the whole, like, I need to hate her, but I love her. I was like, alright, I'm fucking over you, too.
Mm-hmm. I think it also... I liked how we got a little bit more background story about who Paedyn is as a person. Like, her history.
Like, with her dad and
with
stuff?
With the journal, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was, like, a missing puzzle piece. But, like, obviously still, like, what the fuck's up with this bitch? Yeah, I think after I finished reading it, like, off the get, I was like, okay, feeling good. I was excited. Like, okay, it wasn't great, but, like, I'm still really interested.
Yes.
And, like, now that it's been, like, maybe about a week since I finished the book, I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever, it was fine.
But I feel the same
like,
way.
Whatever.
Yeah,
like, ask me a week ago, I would have been like, yeah, you should read it. Now I'm like, yeah, if you want.
So my thoughts on this book, I also gave it 3 stars. Because it's just, like, a very, like, generic, like, yeah.
It's like a bridge book, essentially.
So that's what I was just going to say. I feel like this book was, like, a true middle book in the series.
Yeah.
We needed this book to get to book 3.
Yeah.
Like, it was all very relevant. I think it was well done in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I didn't like the corniness. I think just because of the context. I think Kai is, like, written as, like, a very intense person. Like, she wants him to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
But the vibe of him, like, acting like he has to hate her, but he clearly doesn't, I just, like, was not liking that for him.
Yeah.
Spoiler-ish for next book, I'm liking him much more in the 3rd book.
Yeah.
He's, like, still intense, but, like, way less corny, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't know if that's because she's writing him less corny, or just because, like, the
she
vibe...
listens to the pod? No.
Right. the vibe has shifted, so it's, like, he doesn't feel as, like, that much desperation / like, phoniness. I don't know why I feel that way, but, like, for whatever reason, I feel like he's less corny in book 3. So that was definitely part of my 3-star rating. And then also, like you said, it was, like, a bridge book. Like, yes, obviously they had, like, a lot of emotional arc, but, like, the plot...
Yeah.
I thought the setting was intriguing at first, then it was like, okay.
But we didn't really get, like I said, like, immersion into the other places.
No, aside for, like, the fighting pit type deal.
Yeah. Like, I'm so glad that fucking Dor is a desert city, and she literally highlighted nothing about it being, like, a desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give me some of the culture. Make it a little lively. You want to sit and write these poetic lines of undying love, and you can't even,
You give me, like, a poetic scenery.
Yeah.
I agree. So, yeah, I think, to me, it was a bridge book as well. And it was, like...
Well, I think now even more so now that we've started book 3. You could definitely see. It started here, and this is obviously the end point. Well...
And like I said, if you go from book 1 to 3, you needed this whole book.
Yeah.
For so many reasons.
To make it sense,
So I think, as... a series overall, this was, like, a well-done series. It makes sense. I don't think there's any, like, plot holes thus far. Like, it's all making sense. And, like, the journal was good. The powers are good. Having ordinaries, all this stuff is, like, making sense.
Just go slow.
Yeah, it's just, like...
Or it's maybe drawn out.
Yeah, this book was just kind of, like...
Yeah, like, kind of emphasizing not the wrong things, but, like... I don't know, like, I feel like she just elaborates too much on, like, stuff that isn't really as important. You know?
And like I said, maybe at, like, 15 we would have ate this shit up. Like, with his drama, Tumblr boyness.
Yeah, I for sure would have loved that.
No, same. But yeah, like, again, I think overall, like, it wasn't a bad book. It wasn't like I'm not going to finish it, I'm not going to read the series. Yeah. Like, it was fine. Like, I think overall this series so far, too, like, we're only halfway through book 3. Bless you. Oh, I forgot. She's like a...
Whew. Okay, I'm good.
That was less than 6, so.
Yeah, progress.
Improving. I think overall, again, we're only halfway through book 3 now.
Yeah.
But I think, like, overall, this is, like, a 3-star series. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's mid.
But it's mid. Like, it's just, like, good, fine. If I had, like, known before I got the books, it would be, like, I'd probably have gotten them, like, virtually.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
If you want what... Yeah. I don't think I would have actually spent the money on an actual book.
Like, Hallee and I...
But the books are pretty, so, like, they'll look nice on the shelf, you know?
True. So Hallee and I are also, total digression, not really because it's still bookish, we're having this debate about getting Kindles. Because at this point in my life, I feel like I want my collection to, like, be books I want to, like, reread.
So curated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, we read a lot. So, like, for example, these to me feel like Kindle books.
Yeah.
I'll buy them, whatever, but I don't need them, like, on my shelf.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I feel like my shelf books, I want to be, like, I'm rereading these Twilight, Harry Potter, Hunger Games, like, I'll even get them on the Kindle first and decide to buy, like, the nice edition. You know, like, that's how I'm going to start buying books. So, again, slight digression, but very relevant because we're having an awakening.
Yeah, and things are expensive.
They are. I put it on my baby registry, so.
You did?
I did do it. I felt like it was a necessity. Also, if no one buys it, I'll buy it for my fucking self. But, like, if there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Right. And I, like, also put, like, the little, like, arm. And I'm hoping people realize, like, oh, she loves to read.
What
like,
if you just get the arm?
I'd cry. Then I'd have to buy the Kindle. If you buy me the fucking arm, Hallee, I'll fucking kill you. I actually will slit your throat. I just felt like people who know me, who are getting this registry, are gonna be like, aw, she wants to, like, set this up so she could, like, hold and feed the baby, but, like...
I'm gonna get you the arm and the clicker, but no
so,
Kindle.
So the arm and the clicker are, like, one. Like, I put, like, it's like a...
Oh, it's a bundle?
Yeah.
You only get accessories.
And it's, like, literally, like, $30.
But not the actual
device. It's, like, literally, yeah, it's, like, $30, and, like, you would do that, and I will be so upset. Please don't do this.
Tune in next couple months.
I'll be so fucking pissed. I'll literally see that it's purchased and be like, you asshole. But maybe but someone else will maybe see that you purchased it, or not you, but, like, it's purchased, and they'll be like, aw, change the Kindle.
Anyways.
But yeah, that was really what sparked it, but then I think it's a good idea. Like I said, I want to, like, get books on that first.
Yeah.
Like, even, like, all of, like, the books we covered last summer, like, little, like, one book romances. Like, I like them. They're worth spending the money, but, like, I don't need a whole shelf of them.
Yes.
I can easily read 20 of those in a month.
Yes.
Also, to be fair, like, to pack that to go on, like, a plane is going to be so nice.
Yeah.
So I think we're shifting. I swear I would never be a virtual book person ever.
Same.
But I'm also, like, running out of space.
Is this maturing?
Yeah, is this maturing? I don't know. So, yeah, but long story short of why I'm, like, even telling you guys our weird psychosis we're having is because I feel like these books, again, 3-star series, I'd probably get them on the Kindle as opposed to hard copies. That's how I'm feeling right now. Like, worth the read. I'm enjoying it, but I'm not, like, gonna think about it after they're done.
Yeah. I would say, like, if you have the chance to read them, but, like, don't go out of your way to read them.
Right, I'm not telling you to, like, race over to the store and, like, buy them.
Yeah.
They're entertaining. Like, I felt this way. This book was a little bit slower, but how you mentioned for the first book, both those episodes, I'm not, like, rushing home to read it, but when I'm reading it, I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Book 2 was, like, a little bit less of that, just because I was kind of like, alright, this is dragged out.
Mm-hmm.
But now, back to book 3, I'm starting to feel that again. Yeah. Like, I'm not thinking about it all the time, but, like, when I start, I'm like, yeah, I'm having a good time.
Pretty good.
So, yeah. So, I think, thus far, we'll report the next 2 episodes. We're going to finish this series up, but we'll report, you know, our thoughts once we are completely done with the series. But thus far, I'm giving it, like, mid-level series.
Yeah, for sure.
Good young adult. Fine. I like the little underlying political, emotional things. All really well done. But not, like, groundbreaking.
Yeah. Like, it's thought through.
Yeah. I also do really think, I know I've said this, like, 5 times across the various episodes of the series, I think this is such like a good appetizer to Hunger Games.
I know you keep saying this.
But it's gonna be like, because I feel like that's like, I feel like getting in this mindset and like analyzing like the little political undertones and stuff, I really feel like for Hunger Games we're gonna be like, holy shit, like I didn't realize this when we read this book in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to like, now that we're in this headspace, like I wonder how we're gonna feel about those books. Yeah. So
Interesting.
that was this book, Reckless. Book 2 of the series, smallest book of the series. Thank God. Still a little probably too long. Again, just like it was drawn out.
They probably could have written that like in a novella. No hate though.
Yeah, it could have been like a novella. Which fine, whatever. It was not. So done deal with this book. Desert vibes.
Okay.
Kai being dramatic.
Literally, the desert vibes lasted maybe a quarter of the book.
They were in the scorches though, like for most of it.
Maybe half.
Like,
Yeah,
it was
were
like
just, like
traveling.
traveling.
Yeah, like background desert vibes.
It's like it wasn't giving like Dune or anything. You know?
No, well, obviously not. No, definitely not.
That would have increased my rating, but that's besides the point.
So yeah, 3-star book.
Amazing. And catch us next week.
Next week we'll be a little bit more enthusiastic because I feel like there's more to like analyze and be like,
there's more
ooh.
to talk about.
Yeah. Plot wise, emotion
It's
wise.
very fresh in the cabeza.
Also that as well.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll catch you guys next week.
Catch you next week. Bye.
Fearless.
See you. Fearless, part 1.
Right.
Or our version of part 1.
Yeah.
Which is like almost half.
We make things up as we go along. It's fine. Okay, bye, love you.
Okay, bye. Bye, see you. Okay, bye.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye.